Hey, what's going on, guys? Coming at you with another updated deck profile post-Raging Tempest that is very long overdue, and today I'll be showing you guys my Chainburn deck. So the timing of this deck profile is actually really interesting. I'm recording this on Friday morning, February 17th, which is around the same time that we got the big news, the leak from Italian YGO and also YGO organization about the new summoning mechanic for the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Series V-Reigns. It basically is called Link Summoning, and I'll go more into detail about the explanation and what I think about the new mechanic in a different video, but basically it just makes a lot of the old or even newer decks that rely a lot on summoning from the extra deck, it makes their consistency go down a lot, makes them less viable. Same for pendulums as well. So you may be seeing kind of a prelude here to what the new meta will be like once we get this new mechanic. It's going to be a lot of set 5 decks that don't rely on the extra deck, a lot of stun decks, not a lot of extra deck based decks because they require that Link monster to really be able to even do anything, which just reduces their consistency. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. This deck actually did recently get a regional top as well. I think it was in Maine. It was 7th place at that regional, but of course Hula's in Maine, so it doesn't really matter. But we're going to get right into the deck profile. So starting off with the monsters, we have a low monster count, just the 2 Metaion and the 2 Maxx. Metaion's in here as the pseudo-boss monster of the deck. Basically, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. If you control no monsters, you can normal summon him. You take no battle damage from attacks involving him, and then when he battles an opponent's monster, at the end of the battle phase, it bounces all of your monsters on the field back to the hand except for himself, and then your opponent takes 300 times the amount of monsters bounced back to the hand, and then during your next standby phase, it shuffles back into the deck. So overall, it's just a really nice removal monster that gets around destruction. It's really hard for the opponent to get over, especially since most people now are playing a bunch of destructive board wipes, and this card doesn't really get affected by that. So that's why I am playing the Metaion. Just in general, a really nice card. Then the 2 Maxx, even though it does conflict with Card of Demise, it's just a really powerful card right now, especially in Chainburn, because it does add an extra chain to your chain links and does give you a lot of draw power. So that is why I'm playing the Maxx. Some other monsters I considered playing the main deck. One was Ojama the Cubic Seed, which is pretty decent because it can't be destroyed by battle and it can negate effects and stuff, but it unfortunately is gotten over pretty easily with all the board wipes and dried it and such. Same thing with Marsh Macron. It's nice that it can summon out 2 more of him when he's destroyed, but it's pretty easily gotten over in this format. So I decided to go with these 2 as I think they're the 2 best monsters for Chainburn. Absolute King Backjack is another option, but it's a bit too slow, and I just don't really like it too much. So for spells, we of course have the double Chain Strike. I don't see any reason why this card couldn't be at 3, but I feel like Konami kind of forgets that old cards even exist on the list sometimes. Like this, like Inzectors, how Hornet and Dragonfly are still at 1 for some reason, and Tribe Infecting Virus is still banned even though we have Raigeki at 1, but alas, for now, since we can only play 2, we're playing 2. Then of course we have the standard triple Card of Demise, triple Pot of Duality, and then for the final spell, the 1 day of peace. I highly consider playing Pot of Desires in this deck just for some added draw power. The only problem is with this deck, it doesn't always get enough burn cards to be able to burn your opponent for game within a turn or 2 turns or even 3 turns sometimes. So it does sometimes need those extra turns of stall. And with Pot of Desires, you're losing 12 cards out of the deck, and you have so much other draw cards other than Duality and Demise. You have Maxx, you have Reckless Greed, you have Accumulated Fortune. So you can really easily deck yourself out if you do even play 1, let alone 2 Pot of Desires. So I figured instead, the 1 day of peace is just pretty reliable for that 1 turn stall and the extra draw as well. So that's it for spells. Now for the meat of the deck, if you love traps, then this deck is just for you. There's a total of 27 traps in here. So starting off, we have the triple Accumulated Fortune, good for building up those chains to be able to draw 2 for free. The triple Blazing Mirror Force. So this is like a Ring of Destruction meets Mirror Force on crack. I really like it this format because there's not a lot of effects or monsters that get around destruction. So I feel like Blazing is going to be a pretty good card this format. It's going to end games a bit quicker for you. And if you go against a deck that does get around destruction, or it's not too good to destroy the monsters, then I do have a card on the side that kind of takes care of that. But yeah, the free Blazing Mirror Force. Next, we have the triple Just Desserts staple. The triple Reckless Greed, always going to staple in Chainburn. Although the guy that finished 7th, he was playing Balance of Judgment, which is a good card, but can be really inconsistent at times because it requires your opponent to have more cards on field. More cards on field than you do on field and in hand combined. So that can be a bit hard to pull off sometimes. Next, for more burn, we have the triple Secret Barrel and the triple Secret Blast. I think with how fast-paced this format's going, you really need to play as many burn cards as you can to be able to end the game as quickly as you can. So that's why I'm maxing out on those. The triple Threatening Roar and triple Waboku for some more stall. Again, there's a lot of decks that can OTK you, so you do need an adequate amount of protection from that. Next, with the double Ojama Trio, this is always doubled as both a stall card and a burn enabler card. Just putting those 3 tokens on your opponent's side of the field inhibits their plays, and then also adds 1500 damage to Just Desserts, 900 to Secret Blast, and 600 to Secret Barrel. So Trio's always been a good card. And then for the final card in the main deck, we have the one Ring of Destruction, really good card in this deck, along with Blazing Mirror Force. So that's it for main deck. Total of 40 cards. It is 4 monsters, 9 spells, and 27 traps. I won't show the extra deck because it's not really necessary. For this extra deck, I just put back together the use the Counter Fairy extra deck for this. I would suggest having one just kind of as a bluff, so that your opponent has to guess what you're playing before you play it. But you really don't need to go into it in any situation. So starting off with the side, we have the 2 Archfiend Eccentrik. I like this in any kind of Demise, stun, rogue deck like this, because it's just so versatile. Being able to either pop a spell or trap like Royal Decree, or pop a monster like Jinzo is just really good. And speaking of popping monsters, we have the double Dark Hole and 1 Raigeki. Basically here, if your opponent goes first and they're able to set up a big board, or they're able to set up like a Jinzo or a Denko Sekka on you. Then the double MST for Royal Decree. The double Drowning Mirror Force. This gets sided in for Blazing Mirror Force if you're going against a matchup that has built-in protection for destruction. And it's really nice in this deck because you never have monsters on board. And the only reason I played Blazing over Drowning is because I feel like I get more value out of it in the main deck. It acts as both a stall card and a burn card, which helps end the game quicker. Then we have the 2 Fairy Wind. This is here mostly for the Pendulum matchups since they're going to be playing Scales. Gets rid of those Scales, burns them for it, and helps split up your chains. So, yeah. Then we are playing the 2 Chaos Trap Hole and the 1 Solemn Warning. I don't like playing counter traps in any part of Chain Burn at all. But because Denko Sekka is such a prominent card, I feel like you do have to play these. Because if Denko Sekka gets summoned on you, you just get wrecked. So that's why we are playing them. And then for the final side card, the 1 Torrential Tribute, just here is an extra board wipe card, and it is a normal trap, so it just combos off well with Chain Burn to build up your chains. So that is it for this updated deck profile on my Chain Burn deck post Raging Tempest. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and feel free to leave any suggestions you have on the deck in the comment section below. So I will catch you guys next time.